Alright guys, before we even start, I'm going to be showing you guys a before and after of my back. These photos are 2 years apart, and basically all I've been doing for my back, but not all I've been doing, but for the most part, it's just consisted of pull-ups. Pull-ups, chin-ups, and variations in between. Every time I would train my upper body, I would always do a pull-up. Right? I would always do some vertical body weight pull, whether it would be weighted, whether it be my body weight, whether it would be for crazy high reps, whether it be chin-ups, neutral grips, it doesn't matter. I stuck to pull-ups consistently for 2 years, and the results show. You can even see the definition here in my back as I do these pull-ups, trying to make sure I keep my arch back and my chest proud, which is great form for your pull-ups, especially with a overhand grip. I felt just about every part of my back. I felt my lats, traps. I even felt my rear delts when doing these pull-ups a lot later on in the set. So it's very important, even if you are not interested in just doing calisthenics, but if you're interested in building muscle, you should definitely do pull-ups. There's no reason why you should not, right? If you're overweight, first thing, you're getting into lifting, right? You should probably lose some of the weight and then get strong enough to do pull-ups. If you're a complete beginner and you can't even do one, then you would move to other variations such as like assisted pull-ups, or your legs are on the ground, or you're using a machine in the gym, maybe a lat pull down. But the moment you are able to do at least one pull-up, keep doing them. And to get better with only doing one pull-up, you can use a method called greasing the groove, which is something a lot of beginners do when they can't perform as many reps that's effective for, let's say, strength or muscle gain. If you can only do one rep of a pull-up and you have a at home like pull-up bar, like a doorway pull-up bar, you should, every time you walk by it, every time you walk under it, you should at least perform one. And then over time, you're going to be able to do more and more until you can do complete sets of pull-ups, right? I'd say just being able to do about 4 to 5 in a row is a good starting point to do actual sets. I also really want to put an emphasis on proper form. I get if you're a beginner and you have to do everything you can in order to get a rep. But once you get again to about like the 4 or 5, I'd say you'd be more comfortable at around 8 reps. To where you really want to dial in your form to get the most out of the movement. But if you're going purely on strength standards, like you just want to get a strong, body pull, then I would recommend doing chin-ups, more of chin-ups, since your body is stronger in that position. But if you want to really hone in your ability to properly perform a pull-up, then you have to make sure your back is arched at the top, you have a proud chest, and you are pulling your shoulder blades together at the top of the movement, right? It would be even recommended to see if you can get your bar touching the chest. I have my bar, in the first set at least, I had my chest touching the bar. But I was only able to manage that for, I think, 5 of the reps. But, still you want to try and keep going. Still want to see if you can do 20 plus reps with your with your chest touching the bar every single rep. It really turns those muscles on. I really feel my mid back and my lats just working so much harder when I'm making sure that my form is top notch with the pull up. And of course, it is going to make it a lot harder. I can barely do 10 reps with that type of form. Maybe, I was able to do 20 reps of pull ups, but that's with, okay form. That's with my back rounding out at the top. That's with me kicking my legs a little bit with the later reps. But now here, I want to make sure my form is completely top notch. Now here I move over to chin-ups. I'd say that they're also responsible for how my back has gotten. Um, Especially with my lats, I don't feel the rest of my back as holistically when I do chin-ups. I'm pretty sure if I did arch my back with the chin-ups, it would feel the same way. But I don't really think so because of the way the elbow is moving. The elbow is more inwards instead of outwards. So you're more of contracting and just pulling with your lats rather than, your traps and your rhomboids and whatever other muscles are back there. But you are recruiting your biceps a lot more and you are a lot stronger with that movement. Like how I was saying, if you want to get, I don't maybe 90 pounds, pulling 90 pounds or 100 pounds, or maybe even pulling your girlfriend doing a pull up, I'd say a chin up would be a better way because you're a lot more stronger, right? Some people might not have that strength discrepancy, but most people do. Most people have that strength discrepancy when it comes to using their, biceps and their chin ups and then using almost only their back with pull ups. But then with even just moving aside strength standards and muscle growth and whatever, it's also very important that you are just able to lift up your own body. It's almost like a primal instinct almost where you're hanging and you are lifting your own self up through your own means, right? You're not, I don't know, sitting down with a pad on your legs and then you're just pulling down some weight or you're holding a bar and pulling it. There's nothing wrong with using external weight since that does help you deal with other weights like, picking up stuff and pulling stuff down, right? But using your own body to move your own self around is very, very important. Not just for wanting to look good or wanting to be strong, but just in general for your own health. You don't want to be old and then you can't, I don't know, move around efficiently, right? Not even just old. You don't want to be in your 40s like that, right? You want to be doing pull-ups all the way up until your 70s, your 80s, maybe even your 90s, preferably. That's how I want to be. I want to have abs till I'm like 300 years old. But it's just for your own health, even for your shoulder health, especially in that dead hang position. Another thing with form, every time you go down, make sure you are in a dead hang position. And a dead hang is when your hands and your arms are completely over your head and you're kind of just letting your arms loose. And then when you start the movement, you retract your scapula, and then you initiate the back to do the pulling, and you initiate the arms as well to do the pulling yourself up. So that's very, very important for your own shoulder health. If you can't get into a dead hang position, then you have very bad shoulders and you might be compromised. So you do want to work on your own mobility. I would recommend taking, like a broomstick and first hold. It's called dislocations. That sounds very dangerous, but it's not. Just do it safely. So you put your hands in a width that's comfortable, and then you kind of want to bring the stick from in front of you and put it behind you without basically bending your arms. And this is kind of like bringing it over your head and then bringing it behind your back. So therefore, you can kind of feel your shoulders move around, right? Dislocate, quote unquote. And the more mobile you get, the closer and closer you can put your hands. If you see Olympic gymnasts, they can do these things with their hands parallel to each other, almost without a problem. But that's about the end of it, and that's about the end of this workout as well. Me finishing off with leg raises. Do your pull-ups, please. If you can't do them now, get to a point to where you can do them as soon as you can. If you're a big person, if you're a very, I don't know, skinny person, whatever, under-muscled, whatever, just try and get to doing a pull-up as soon as you can. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys later.